What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Grind Force Gaming. Nova here with another Street Fighter Duel video, and today we're going to be covering the brand new event that just launched. It's the Loving Melody, and this is the release of Vega and Cammy as a combined unit, and also Firedon as well. But we're not really going to be talking about Firedon. I'll do some different content later for like actual fighter reviews. I just want to talk about the Loving Melody, show you guys how I'm setting up my Bloodlust, and then also just maybe play a boss fight or two because I've been really enjoying doing this now. And they threw us a little bit of a curveball this time around, and now there's 4 teams that we're using for these boss fights. So they're just increasing the requirement of us to have multiple teams for fighting, which I think is really cool. But in a way, it kind of throws a wrench in how things have been working for me recently, because now I have to kind of rework my teams to try to get a good 4th team now, when on the last event that we had like this for Summer Elena, I believe, I was kind of struggling to have a really strong 3rd team. So, we'll kind of see how things go with this. But first thing first here, we're going to hop into the Tower of Desire and we're going to finish this. Sorry, a little nose itch. I stopped here on the puzzle because I thought I would just go through this in case anyone's having an issue with it. I have not played it yet, so I don't know how to solve it, but I guess we'll just see if I can get this right the first time. So I'm guessing that one has to move all the way up, because you can move it over to the left and then you can move it down to get it back to where you need it to go. This block's going to have to come up too, but it's going to be in the way. So I think, actually, you know what I think we have to do is I think we're going to have to move this one over here. And then this is going to have to go up as well. I think they both need to go up here. That's going to go up there. What we're going to do is pop up here, move this one down, then we're going to move that one over. And that should allow us to do this. And then I guess we just do this, but we're going to have to move this all the way over, I think, so we can get around. Yeah, okay, that should do it. That should be the solution for this. Hold on, let me just pop up here real quick. Move this one down. We're just going to rinse and repeat. Same process. Yeah, okay. Not too hard. Just a little bit of maneuvering. Okay, great. So now what we'll do is I'm just going to go through these. I'll skip ahead of the fights themselves because I'm using the same team for everything, just the standard Viper, Bison, Beast Zangief situation here that everyone uses for literally everything. So there's no reason to watch all of these, so I'm going to skip ahead on that right now. Okay, now we're at the final puzzle. We have one more fight to do, and then we have the boss fight. So let's just see what we can do here with this one. This is kind of interesting, huh? Is this one just more simplistic than it looks? Are we just doing this? Yeah, okay. That one was not hard, but in case you were struggling with it, there's the solution. All right, we have one last fight here to go, so we'll just do this really quickly. I always struggle to have the patience to wait to do just like a ton of boss fights, because I have so much fun testing out different teams that I typically don't even wait to like get as many Bloodlust things as I can for that specific boss before, the change to the next boss happens or the next thing gets unlocked. So I always like push for these high scores, and then I unlock a whole bunch of stuff and get stronger, and then I end up having to like redo it. But it's just, I absolutely love the boss fights for these events. And if you guys have watched previous videos that I've done, you know that I spend a lot of time on them. I really do enjoy doing them. Dascat does live videos as well on here on the YouTube channel to show his like team compositions and everything. We'll see how the scoring goes for this. This is a tough boss. She's difficult in the Crusade as well because she decreases your speed so much. So just a lot of like timing going on. But with these bosses, don't worry if you don't get the 3 stars right away. Over time, you're going to increase your battle lust, you're going to get stronger, and then you're going to do it much more easily. So if you don't get 3 stars, you know, not a big deal. You don't need to just like keep trying it. Just wait and, you know, improve the battle lust percentages for the bonuses that you're getting, and then you'll be good. Okay, so you get 1 free copy here from this one, which is really amazing. I think it's going to be a really good unit. I haven't done a lot of testing on it. I'm not 100% sure yet. But that's just what I think right now based on the little bit of testing that I've done. So what I think is important here for the battle lust, just based on my team compositions, is getting the C3 to be as strong as possible. And I also like getting my flame damage increased because I'm doing a lot of burn. And then, I mean, I'm doing some bleed as well. I'm not doing any shock. I don't have any shock teams, but burn damage for me is one of my like primary damage instances. So what I want to do is, I guess, just see where can I get like just some more like maybe damage reduction or damage bonus, damage reduction. Like, see, that's a huge one. Definitely going to max that one out. Crit damage and dodge, that's pretty good. HP crit rate. I don't really know what I want to do with my remaining 6. It's not really that important. I mean, you can reset these and we're going to get more tomorrow too. So I might just do defense bonus here. This one's speed, I think, right? I should probably, yeah, additional 50 speed. Why not? Let's just speed things up a little bit. Okay, so that's the Dark versus Light here in the Tower of Desire. That one's cleared. We have 1 free copy from that. We'll get a free copy from the next one in 3 days and 12 hours at the time of this video. In the Tower of Desire, that's what we just did. Here we go. Fall Banquet. I haven't spent a lot of time in this event yet, so I'm not really familiar with where everything is, but here is my current battle report. I haven't done too many fights. I've only done 5, but 994 million is my highest. So remember though that now, because we have 4 teams, you're going to see higher scores from people earlier on because you have a 4th team now dealing damage. So some of these damage amounts are already just absolutely wild. This is the setup that I've been using, but I'm looking forward to kind of changing this up because I think that we have some opportunity now with the new units to do some swapping out and some like just kind of team reshaping. So these are just kind of like my introductory attempts at just trying to get as high of a score as I possibly can at the moment. I don't think that these are perfect. I think I do need to spend a little bit more time working on this. This team specifically, I'm not really too keen on. I think that the Vega Cammy play is going to be really important for Fashion Ken, but so far, I mean, he doesn't have a team, so things aren't really like great for that one. I'm not really getting a lot of points, not doing a lot of damage on that, but it's just kind of what I'm working with right now. I feel like there might be a play to using Fire Adon instead of Dulcim as well with Flame Chun-Li, but I need to do a little bit more testing on that as well, because if that's possible, then we could free up Dulcim to go back with Fashion Blanca like he was originally, and that would give me a better 4th team. But so far, I'm not really sure if that's how things are going to work. So I've been doing random times, like 63 seconds, 59 seconds, 75 seconds, 67 seconds, just trying out different intervals for hitting the skip button. And you can leave it in manual and hit skip, and it'll just automatically do all of your attacks for you. It'll trigger everything. So this is just an easy way to do it. I'm hitting these all at like 63. Eventually what's going to happen is like different teams I'll hit at different times once I start having more fights that I can look at like the best scores I've had from each team, and then I can take all the best scores and then I can see what timing works best for them, and then I can try to like link all of those together so I get a really good run right away. So like ideally with the RNG, you get the highest scoring run for each team, in a row, and that's going to give you your best score. But to do that, you need to play a lot of fights, see what kind of scores you're capable of getting. Let's do 59 on this one. See what kind of scores you're capable of getting, and then you need to try and replicate that by mimicking the time frame and then hoping you get the good RNG to land on every single one so you get good damage output on every single fight. So it's tedious, but I think it's fun. I like playing the stats game here, and I like trying to manipulate the scores by figuring out the times that work the best for everyone. This is a big AoE boss, honestly. So, if you're not doing a lot of AoE damage, I think you're going to see your scores being a little bit lower than maybe you might predict with some of your teams. Like, I'm using Sea Viper for this, but I don't know that she's really necessarily the best for the job here, because she's doing some AoE, sure, on her first, but like I think it might be better to use Fashion Blanc on that instance, just to use him for the AoE, because you're kind of limiting yourself by hitting the back line with Viper on this. That's why I'm not using Jonan Ibuki here at all. I just don't really know what benefit I'd have from that, because she's purely single target. And that's kind of the issue with this team too. It's a lot of single target damage. So I feel like I'm kind of like selling myself short by using that. All right, let's try it. We'll do one more here and just kind of see what kind of score we can get. I'm going to go to, we'll trigger a little bit sooner maybe. Let's do 70 seconds. Just we're not waiting so long for these. But like I said, you need to test it out. You need to try different times for every team, and then you need to go back and look at your battle report to see your scores, and then you can determine, when you should be doing it. So you can try to like hone in some kind of strategy to where you can, to a degree, predict the scores. Because if you say like, oh, if I trigger this at 75 seconds, this team gets 500 million points. So it's happened before. So let's try it again. Let's try 75. Let's try 76. Let's try 74. And just kind of see where you can get that to be a little bit more consistent and predictable. And then you work on the next team, and then you learn the timing for that team. But also, these teams aren't set in stone here either. I'll see, that was a little bit better. But it's tough though, because like I said, I do need to work on these teams, because I'm not like, look at the damage output on team 4. Like, it's substantially lower than the other ones. So I will need to work on it. Like this one, that first team did extremely well. So I need to go back and look at the time for that. And then I'll try to like take the sum of best here and then try to put them all together. But there's some fights for that. Special summon, it's available for you now. You have the romantic gift here as well, where you get like pretty lackluster rewards, except for the tickets. I don't know if I'm going to draw for him or not. I honestly don't know. I'm debating it, but I'm also kind of feeling like I really want Summer Elena first to SS before I maybe think about using any tickets on a trigger unit that's just really kind of doing damage. But at the same time, I find like it validates the Fashion Ken purchase. So in a way, I'm thinking like maybe I need to do that so I can get Fashion Ken to a more usable level. But then, at the same time, it's like I'm working on one, like I'm pulling for one unit that only really affects one unit that I have, whereas Summer Elena will affect the entire team that she's a part of. So I don't know. It's a tough decision to make, but yeah, guys, basically that's the event overview in total. It's just, pretty standard for what we're normally getting, but we have the Bloodlust here for you guys as well. If you need to take a screenshot of that or something, or pause so you can copy it if you want to. I will maybe mess around with it a little bit, but probably not too much. Because, we'll get more tomorrow and whatever. So, all right. So got one unlock for him today. His skills are very interesting. The super, he's switching with Cammy. So they're like changing the way that they deal damage. And you see that the most here with the C2. So if it's Vega triggering on the C2, then he's inflicting bleed. And if it's Cammy triggering on the C2, then she's inflicting armor break. On the C3, they're both doing burn. The damage is more or less kind of the same. There's different base chances for burn. Looks like Vega triggering on the C3 is a little bit better, just at a quick overview without reading, too much in depth on this. For the passive, they are passively stacking crit rate and crit damage. So Vega, whenever he attacks, so if you're not like swapping him for Cammy, he's affecting crit rate. Cammy is affecting crit damage. So it kind of depends on what you want to fill that role. So you might just like run his super in manual first to swap him to Cammy, and then you just run your actual normal cycle. That way you have Cammy on the field instead of Vega. But both are good. I mean, crit rate is really good. Crit damage is really good as well. I think it's a really interesting unit. I'm excited to mess around with it a little bit. And this is kind of an interesting situation as well. After switching characters, the next super combo Unleashed will not consume the super combo gauge. So that's you can get like 2 combos back to back with this if you're running the 3 out of 3 here and you do the combo switch. So you could open up a round by switching, right? And then running combos in sequence at that point. So that could be really awesome as like an opening way to deal with like a PvP fight maybe. But tough to say without any additional testing. I didn't even do any of the switching with him when I was testing him in the trial. I just tried to beat it as fast as I could. So I'll need to go back and actually, play around with that a little bit. But the fighting spirit is adding some lifesteal, and it's just increasing damage bonuses. So obviously something great to pick up for him. I think with all the special summon characters, if you're going to go for them, then you need to max them. There's otherwise, what are you spending all those tickets on that are so hard to get? So if you do get him, definitely try to get him up to SS, and definitely work on the fighting spirit right away, and even throw him in your garage to start pulling for vehicles if you're going to try and get him to SSS. So that way, once you finally do, you have the vehicles and you'll have his full potential realized. So that's about it, guys. So far, really cool event, really cool fighter. I'm really excited to test it out a little bit more and do more on the boss fights. I will do a more in-depth boss video later. And like I said, Datscat's doing live videos of this. He'll be live tonight, actually. So if you're watching this video today, definitely come back to the page later tonight to see him live on that. And we're going to also do a little like impromptu tier list because we have so many new fighters right now. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Be sure to throw a like on the video, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.